So in recent years, burnout syndrome has been one of the most discussed mental health topics, often overlooked or even gone unnoticed. That is why in this video I decided to share with you 8 signs that shows that you may be experiencing burnout. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Dandio here, and welcome back to another edition on Medtalk. So yet again, another edition on Medtalk and a very important topic, that is burnout. This is something that is mostly being experienced in our society. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you are studying or whether you are in a working class. It actually applies everywhere. Anyone can actually experience it. And the thing is that we sometimes even don't know that we are even experiencing burnout. And that is why I deem it very important to share these signs with you. So before we talk about the signs, let's look at what burnout is. Burnout is a typical stress syndrome which develops gradually in response to prolonged stress, physical, mental and emotional strain. So when you continually subject yourself to either physical, emotional or mental strain, you are on the road to burnout. Now let's look at some effects of burnout, and these effects that we are going to be looking at is majorly the effect on the brain. So the first effect is it enlarges the amygdala. So amygdala is the part of the brain that actually controls an emotional reaction. So when this is actually affected, it actually causes moodiness. The next effect is the effect on the prefrontal cortex. And the prefrontal cortex is actually responsible for cognitive function. And when this happens, it actually thins out the prefrontal cortex. And this usually actually happens in aging. But when you are actually experiencing burnout, this actually happens prematurely. You may not be aged, but since you have burnout, you may be experiencing symptoms as if you are actually aging. So the next effect is that it actually affects our memory and attention span. So all these things that I've actually told you that they are effects of burnout, it goes to show you how important we have to be aware of this, because it has significant impact on our brain. And when your brain is not really working well, you know what will happen to you. You may not function well. So those are effects of burnout on the brain. So now to the signs of burnout. The first sign is you view your work as frustrating or stressful. This is a very important sign. Let's say that you actually started your work very joyful, but as time goes on, you actually lose that joy at that working area. The least work that you do even becomes a stress for you, and even thought of going back to that work even stresses you out. And that is a sign that you need to take a break. It's not about working alone, but if you're a student, I'm a student, so let's say that you've been studying for quite a long time with no break, and on Sunday the thought of you going back to lectures even stresses you out. That means, you know what you need? You need a break. So if you see this sign in you or even the people around you, nudge them and tell them that, hey, you know what? I think you need a break. And the fact about burnout is that it doesn't just affect us, but it affects even the people around us. So that is the first sign. The second one is lacking energy to get things done. So this is actually characterized by unexplained lack of energy. After sleeping for 8 good hours, you still lack energy to do anything. That is another sign that you may be experiencing burnout. The third sign is feeling like nothing you do makes a difference. And this is actually characterized by not realizing your efforts. And when you don't realize your efforts, nothing you do even pleases you anymore. It actually sends you to a state of overthinking, worrying, and even doubting your abilities. Note that every step you take is a step so far as you're moving forward. So if you're actually experiencing this sign, as in you feel like nothing you do even make a difference, you might be experiencing burnout. The next sign is difficulty in concentration. So earlier I actually stated the fact that it actually affects your attention span, and this ties in with that. Know that when the mind is tired, it actually begins to lose its sharpness. To have a sharp and pinpoint concentration, burnout needs to be avoided. And in the field of medicine, any mistake that you do can go a long way to affect you. It's not just in the field of medicine, and even wherever you find yourself. Let's say that you are even directly dealing with money. You can run the business down as well. So you don't want to find yourself in a state of burnout. When you're not concentrating, how will work be done? Work done will be zero. And even you are prone to accidents with lack of concentration. So this is also a sign of burnout. burnout. The fifth one is noticing a reduction in your performance. And this also ties in with the effect of burnout on the brain. Earlier I told you about its effect on the prefrontal cortex. If there's mental exhaustion, there will be cognitive decline, and this will actually lead to low performance. I know my capabilities, you know your capabilities as well. So if you actually experience, or if you actually feel that the efforts that you are putting in is not yielding any results, you have to check yourself. You have to step back and know that you might be experiencing burnout. So noticing a reduction in your performance is also a sign of burnout. The next one is distancing yourself from people that you mostly care about. It's okay to distance yourself from some people, but when it actually comes to the fact that you actually distance yourself from the people that you care about, it might be a sign of burnout. Again, remember that I actually stated its effect on the amygdala, which can actually cause moodiness. And if you're moody, you don't want to have anyone around you. All you want is you want to be by yourself alone and not talk to anyone. Sometimes you think that you just want to be quiet. No, you are experiencing burnout. So the moment you start pushing the people you mostly care about away, it may be another sign. And when you're in this state, nothing even entices you anymore. The people that made you happy, they don't make you happy anymore, and you don't feel happy around them. So that is another sign of burnout. The next sign is caring about your needs feels like a waste of energy. This is a very important sign. When you're mentally exhausted or when you are burnout, I again stated that your sense of judgment becomes poor, and that leads to poor decision making. So that's when you feel like taking time off doesn't matter, or taking time for yourself feels like a waste of energy and doesn't really matter. Please have time for yourself, and I've always said that take a break when you need one. The last sign is you don't feel like yourself anymore. And this can be described as doing things in a different manner that you used to. It's not necessarily about switching things up, but it's doing things awkwardly. And even the people around you can even attest to the fact that no, this is not you, because you didn't do things that way. And it's like adapting to a new personality. You start behaving differently, and that is another important sign of burnout. Burnout is real, and burnout shouldn't be overlooked. Take care of yourself. Your mental health is important. While you work, take breaks in between. It goes a long way to help you. You don't want to age prematurely, and that is another effect of burnout, as I initially stated. So don't wait till you have burnout before you take a break. Rather, prevent this before you even start seeing these signs. So if you find this video helpful, smash the like button. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section and share this video to create awareness. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.